and the Schmeeschnap. It's time for a Leonard O. Dick rap. Ew. Leonardo DiCaprio. Recapitulate.
Recapula.
It's time for a Leonard O.
I like how you're like, let's get down to business.
All right.
Third time's charm.
It's time to recap. Um, Session 45.
Oh,
Which means that this session has been running for at least 112 hours, but probably a lot more. And if you view the latest YouTubes of this session, you'll see that Eve is there and Daniel is there as TikTok
oh,
rather than as Andre. And Miki's not there yet, but she's in the other one. And she's about to be. All right, so last time you guys have been hanging around the Tower of Contemplation for a while. Originally you went to bed, you got up, you discovered that Elenia Toth, pits of fire erupted, eyeball monsters, Prince holding up with Mussover and Anaranjado, changed your life, finding that out. Head upstairs, sent Kaz away with Kara the zombie. You finding stuff out about Icy Trick and her boning dwelling. Uh, and met Quirky Beauty, who everybody loved how that person talked. And finally, you started talking to Burden of Chains, and that person, you were just failing to talk to them. And that's where we started our last session. And we started our session with you guys in the middle of continuing to fail to talk to Burden of Chains, failing persuasion checks, deception checks, trying to cast suggestion on Burden of Chains, and just failing the roll until the old lady was standing in the hallway yelling, help me, these people are casting spells on me. Celeste opened the door and said, go ahead, go outside, call for help. People started coming to help. They were represented by peacocks in a hallway with cats and cows on a weird little board. Um, uh, Finally, Miki succeeded on a subtle spell suggestion, and the person Burden was like, "All right, everything's okay. Go away, guys." And the other people in the hallway left. And then she brought you inside her apartment, and she started telling you things. Some of the things she told you. Hush Sparkle was stabbed 5 times in the doorway of her room, and she's a black facet monk. Ancient Fish investigating the murder of Hush Sparkle and has more info on Trance. Violet Gift is the one that survived the dragon attack and is alive in the tower. Flawless Shore died in the dragon attack on the magic boats. Entrance is still here in the tower, but I haven't seen him in a few months. That's what you learn from Burden of Chains. And then you guys got Burden of Chains to lead you up to Ancient Fish's office, where it was immediately revealed to Ancient Fish that Burden of Chains was under a spell by you guys due to the magic-y detect-y things that are going on in that room. You guys tried to lie about it, and she was like, don't you know, I already know who you are. And you guys were like, what? And she said, yeah, you're the group of unnamed heroes who I've heard about. You killed the queen, etc. So she was sending messages via pigeon during the conversation. She got you guys to release Burden of Change from the spell. She told Chains to chill out, sent her away. And then she started telling you guys the story of Entrance, what happened to Entrance, how he was studying genealogy in the tower basement because the tower has the most ancient supply of genealogy in the whole continent, and that he was looking into the idea that the Tabaxi, when they were brought as slaves 2,000 years ago to this continent, um, were already radical pacifists and perhaps praising some other being, having some other sort of religion. And so then when monks in the cafeteria or whatever would say that um, we need to stop being pacifist or that we need to withdraw from connecting to other countries, he would say, no, there is a long history of Tabaxi being pacifist. Um, he disappeared in the basement, never came out. Ancient Fish sent some people down to the basement to check on him, and they got killed. They saw creatures that you guys noticed sounded just like the thoughts that attacked you on the boat. So Ancient Fish walled up on Trance in the abandoned genealogy library in the basement behind several magical walls. And she thought that the thoughts were contained, but you guys told her that they weren't, and she was like, oh no. Um, they heard the party heard the dragon described as gray with lavender and blue markings. The party thought that because of the color scheme, there must be some connection. Uh, you're told that Hushed Sparkle, the black facet person, very vocally preached about doing nothing and that the country should do nothing. Ancient Fish. Oh, I should tell you a funny joke. The kids I teach are in this section as well, and one of the 14-year-olds, when he heard that Hushed Sparkle uh was vociferously preaching that people should do nothing and now she was dead, he was like, well, that's perfect because that's the best way to do nothing is to be dead. And that was he's a sarcastic one, that student, and funny, but tough to make that joke in front of people, in front of other tabaxi that might have liked her. Um, yeah, so Ancient Fish told them that there are some of the people who are supporters of ending the pacifism and stuff like that, using our gunpowder supply to actually make our own weapons, etc., include Loose String in the Treasury, Left-Handed Kingfisher, the third speaker of the 100 Holy Ones, and Hidden Depths of the Blue Facet. So, yeah, the party also decided to name the crew Mr. and the Miscreants, which, by the way, the new player will also be a female character, so we'll still work that way. They find out that Icy Trick likes Borgonian wine, as Celeste continues to riz Icy Trick. They discover that the Children's Rebellion has no recent updates via Ancient Fish. She's concerned that they would not be effective against floating eyeball monsters. Um, Sarah makes a deal with Ancient Fish to do long distance information brokering, and then they left the room. And that was where we left off. You guys standing outside of Ancient Fish's closed office in the hallway on the white facet floor, the 20th floor of the semi-opaque white crystal massive 55-story, 1,500 feet tall tower of contemplation filled with 300, or is it 298 pacifist monks. And so we begin our tale.
Uh, what number of those pacifist monks are not truly pacifist? We shall find out.
Yeah. We know probably at least 3 of them are probably not complete pacifists.
At least one murderer is not.
True. So what were we gonna look into now?
Oh, I made notes.
Sorry, I was a little airheaded.
I
I forgot what we decided on.
I think we were going to question someone today because the other lead was checking out the walled off portion of the basement, I think.
Mm.
Yes, we could speak to Violet Gift if we wish to investigate this dragon,
Mm.
or to Yes, we spoke to Ancient Fish just right now. To flip the page. No, after that I just took notes of wine.
Huh. I have some loose notes. It was suggested that we could investigate the victim's room. We could talk to the victim themselves. Also, those three isolationists who want to encourage violence among the tabaxi might be interesting to talk to. And I think whatever we end up doing, the last thing we should do is go to the level -8 and figure out what's going on with Entrance. I feel like that will be sort of our big releasing of tension. It feels like once we fight that fight, a lot of threads will come together.
Yes, however, on the way down, we will be passing the Black Facet floor. This is where Hush Sparkle was murdered.
Maybe we could check out the scene. Well, yeah, we should check it out, but I wonder how much would be left behind. They did mention that they don't want word to get out, so it might be scrubbed pretty clean.
This is true, but if they did leave anything, that means it is something they missed. That may help.
Yep. Maybe we'll find the murderer just still there.
That would be quite convenient.
Would.
Do you think they would be offended if we killed the murderer?
I don't think they'd be offended, but I do imagine they'd be cross with us.
Deus Equis pipes up and says, I am sure they want to put the murderer on trial if they find him, and then give him or her a compassionate prison.
That just hardly seems as punishment for taking a life.
I don't know if we should necessarily vigilante justice our way through these people's culture. I suppose my culture, but I don't know. It feels wrong to deny the victims of this crime their due process. Whatever they see fit is what is fine.
There's definitely a lot in between murdering the murderer and capturing him and delivering him to the proper authorities in this case, I suppose. If it comes to it, I suppose we might have to rough him up anyway. And that might just have to be enough.
Well, if they so happen to suffer a head injury while we detain them, then it is what it is.
So let's head off to that crime scene.
Wonderful.
Wait, it's supposed to be kept quiet, so I suppose maybe we should talk in code.
Speak real loud. Let us head off to this crime scene of a murder. No.
You guys are headed to the Black Facet floor?
I do believe that's the floor I fell to. So
yeah.
let's just look for the blood splatter at the bottom. Oh, look, that is where my head hit.
All right, so you all are on the 20th floor right now, and the Black Facet floor is the 9th floor. So you go back out of the hallways and lobby on the White Facet floor, where there are tasteful, sharp-edged white and black decorations that are evocative of logic and reason. And information, and you make it to the stairwell, walking down the geometric and naturally patterned opaque crystal staircase with huge, wide, big stairs, and you go down the beige facet floor. You know each facet is which floor because there's a square with color over the archway that's at the landing. the beige, the gray on 17, the yellow on 16, the red on 13, the green on 12. Celeste feels a little twinge of cachondesa as she goes by it. There's brown facet floor. The bronze facet is number 10. And then you get to the 9th floor, which is the black facet floor. And clearly, everything's pretty black beyond the archway. The archway has a black square over it, but beyond the archway with the black square is a lobby with almost no furniture except for 2 large black beanbag chairs. It looks like nobody took any effort to decorate this lobby, and you could just lay on a beanbag chair here. And then there are 3 hallways zipping off from this lobby with black doors with white numbers. And you do see someone walking by in black robes, headed down the hallway, walking pretty quickly. What are you up to?
Can I search the beanbag chairs?
Sure.
I'm trying to see if there's possibly a murder weapon hidden inside the beanbag chair or anything like that.
Okay.
They're very roomy. I feel like it could hide something.
Yeah, let me open up my dice and you can roll an investigation.
Are they actually beans?
I guess you have to open them up. I'm looking for a investigation roll to start.
Okay, I get a +7 to that.
I'm going to command Amelie to aid him.
I got a 14.
Okay, but you get advantage because Amelie is helping you, and go ahead and describe what Amelie's help looks like, either one of you.
I'm gonna leave it to Eve.
Okay. Fuck. It's so much easier when you throw an improv prompt to someone else. She gracefully, with a fluid single motion, sort of grasps your back, leans forward over your shoulder. And you know from
Isn't she like a halfling?
yeah, she glimpses on your back.
She's a gnome, yeah.
I know. Okay.
You're like 6'5" or whatever. So she
Yeah.
leaps onto your back.
Like a cat.
Uh-huh. And you know by the noise that exudes from her that she believes in you and that you can do this.
I feel like there's almost like a maternal gentleness that Andre feels for but a moment. And that reassures him in his search. And that turns into a 21, and I'm almost upset that it is.
Well, perfect. Yeah, you search the shit out of this beanbag chair. You definitely discover that it is in fact stuffed with small beans, and that it has a felt-like fabric that is encasing the beans with white stitching. And as you're running your hands over this black beanbag chair, your hands meet Amelie's hands for a moment, and you both feel a spark of life in your hearts. But You don't find a murder weapon. You do find one piece of black lint that probably comes from a black robe, similar to the one worn by the person that walked by recently.
Hey, that's evidence.
We're in the black sector, though. There's probably a lot of people with the black robe, no?
If we if we ever get a spell scroll of like locate object or something, we might be able to find the rest of this cloak.
You know what? That's true.
Amelie whispers to you.
Oh, okay.
That's what she says. Wonderful work, you two. What have you found?
A new fear, as I think I'm starting to understand her.
Yeah, I don't know
Are
how
you
much
hear-
the zombie actually says,
Are,
but
are you hearing voices, Andre? Are you well?
Don't think I'm well. But there are other matters to tend to at the moment.
yeah, so you don't find much beyond the piece of lint on the thing on the beanbag chair, but you do find a renewed passion.
Do we know what room her room was?
Yes, room 941.
And Dayus says, "What are those two doing over by that beanbag chair?"
You
Wait,
know,
I
there-
thought this was the scene of the crime where these just random beanbag
Yeah,
chairs?
for sure.
Beanbag
I
chair.
thought you were investigating as a bit.
Yeah, I thought it was a joke. Like,
Yeah.
I,
oh, wonderful.
I'm
Yeah.
helping.
These are just the decorations in the lobby, the only decorations in the lobby. Darius says, what are those two doing over there? Yes, Sileth, I believe they said 941, yes?
Yeah, that is what I wrote down.
Do you all go looking for 941?
Yeah.
All right, you look and you look and you look at all the numbers on the doors and you walk and you look and eventually you find a door that says 941 on it.
How do the halls smell bad if these people are doing nothing? Does it smell like dorm room?
Oof.
Yes.
Oh,
No. Number one rule of D&D, don't give the DM ideas.
I've learned that 5 times already, and I still do it.
I think
There's joy in doing it.
That's true.
I think that's gonna be the name of my book. I'm gonna name my book that. Don't give the DM ideas. Does it kill me? Yes, yes,
Yes,
it does. It does kill you.
Do I need to roll this thing I would have automatically succeeded on and have to waste all of my second level spell slots? Yes.
Yes, it smells like smelly socks and armpits.
Smells like Teen Spirit.
Yep. So yeah, you guys are standing in front of 491. Dice is looking at you for like, why are you all sniffing the air?
You do not. That smell is not a harassing your senses.
The smell of crime in the air.
It's a musty crime.
Why don't
I
we
only
look at
ever smell
the-
metal.
Why don't we look at the crime scene instead of sniffing the gym shorts? Yes?
Is that what you do on your spare time?
It appears to be what you are doing right now.
You knock on the door. Oh, they are they are dead. What a silly.
That's correct.
Are there any signs of forced entry?
I try and open the door.
Door's unlocked.
Yeah, for sure. Why would they ever bother to lock it?
The door is unlocked. You open the door. The room is undecorated. There's nothing hanging on the walls. There are black floor tiles that seem to have been installed sort of over the quartz-like part of the castle. Tower, sorry. There is a black dresser and a black writing table. Um, Things are very simple and boring in their styling. There is a bed with black sheets and comforter and black pillows, and it's very messy, the bed. It looks like it's never been made, ever. Um, and the room is also a bit dirty. And there you are.
I feel called out.
Now,
Do
this description already existed before you asked about the
yeah.
smell.
I was just looking back at my messy bed.
Maybe we should start cleaning up. Sometimes you find things that way.
Oh, this is true.
Honestly, that's not a bad idea.
All right, who wants to do what?
I'll pick up the clothes on the floor.
Okay. Black robes, uh, feminine undergarments in black, kind of smelly.
At least they're matching.
A lot of black. In fact, there's not a lot of contrasting decor in this room. There's nothing hanging on the walls. It's just lots of black stuff. So yeah, you gather up some of the clothes.
Check the pockets.
All right, yeah, I'll check the pockets.
Nothing much in the pockets of these clothes.
Are there any like hidden uh panels on the floor or like hollow sounds? Like, is there like a loose floorboard or anything?
Ooh.
You may search the floor with a investigation check.
Okay.
Amelie looks expectantly towards you, as if she longs to help you.
I'll like wave my hand and tell her to look at this area, and I'll look at this area.
And she goes,
And I got a 26.
damn. Uh, well, in searching the floor, you don't find too much, but you do find that there is still some blood in the cracks between the floor tiles, that are near the door. You recall hearing that she was stabbed 5 times in her doorway. I will say that with a 26, you can tell somehow that she was stabbed from inside the room.
Ooh.
You
You
don't
know,
find any secret shit though on the floor.
I've seen a lot of blood spatter as someone who sells alcohol to bars, and bar fights happen. And I can tell from this pattern of blood that I can see in between the cracks that she was stabbed from inside the room, not in the doorway, as we were told.
Well, she was stabbed in the doorway, but
Oh, from within to the doorway.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
inside the room.
So
Oh.
either someone was waiting for her as soon as she came back to her room, or it was someone close to her, and then as she was leaving or something, they got murdery.
Do we have any information on where she was stabbed? Was she stabbed in the back or in the front?
I believe in the back.
Darius says, I think that is what I heard them say too.
In the, then perhaps there was a attempt at a flight.
Ooh, I could always try and ask. Did I ask my gargoyle rock anything today?
No.
Um, it might be a crapshoot, but I could ask the gargoyle rock something about this.
All right, roll a d20.
Okay. Oops. Excellent. Let's do that. Come on. Ooh.
You put the gargoyle rock up against your head to listen to it, and you hear it say, "You're too skinny. Eat a sandwich."
How dare you? You're too rock-like. And I drop it on the ground. Pick it up, put it in my pocket.
You could say he has dirt for brains.
Ooh, there you go. You hear that?
It goes back to whispering unintelligibly.
Well, is Andre, do you see, is there enough blood to perhaps collect a sample of?
Try.
Uh,
Is there?
You could scrape up the stuff that's in the cracks enough to get a sort of dried, coagulated little bit of it.
Okay. I hand it to Silith.
I think this may be useful if we find a weapon that is still dirty. I might be able to match the blood. I cannot do it at the moment, but should we take a rest before we find such a potential suspect of the weapon, it may be useful.
As
Sounds strange.
as a Valda's martyr, you have some spells.
Yeah, I was looking at the spell Blood Print, but
Yeah.
I don't have it prepared, so
Yeah, and then there's that footprints one too. Yeah, if you cast him, I will do the stuff with the stuff.
footprints one.
That's cool.
Did I
Yeah,
not
what's
grab?
Alex knows the name of that spell.
It's Clue.
Oh,
Clue.
I don't have that spell, so
Yeah.
If only a certain plush detective were here.
You all are welcome to look at the wizard, artificer, and sorcerer, warlock spell lists in Valda's and see
Oh
if
shit.
there are spells that you want to prepare or learn from the spell lists that are associated with those classes. So yeah, you guys are standing in this murder room. You found some blood. What else?
I'll check the bed if there's anything else that looks out of place for a dirty dorm room.
Okay. Give me one more investigation roll, please.
Sure. $11.
Amelie looks sad that you didn't include her. Looks like a dirty bed.
Is there anything underneath the bed?
Anything underneath the bed?
Floor.
Do you want to roll perception?
Sure, I'll roll perception.
check
Yeah.
underneath the
Can I give the help
mattress.
action? I have proficiency in that. Oh,
You may.
nah. Might not be necessary, but
Just
I
in
offer.
case.
Take the help action. Hey.
That's
Oh shit!
22.
Look at that.
Okay, you start perceiving the shit out of under the bed. Mostly it looks like there are dust bunnies because no one's ever cleaned under this bed ever. But you do notice right before you pull your head out from under the bed and bonk your head on the bed frame, you notice the tiniest little corner of paper under one of the bedposts foot thing.
I take it and pull it out and start reading it aloud.
Ah, well, you pull it out, and it does appear to be a folded note. You unfold the note, and you find um very messy, scribbled big block letters. Like somebody took a pen or a pencil and just started scribbling like this to make letters. Big, scribbly block letters that say, "Stop talking."
Huh. Can I look over her shoulder and see if it's recent? Like how dust covered this note is?
Well, with the help action that you already took and the high perception roll, it looks like it's maybe a few weeks old, month old or so.
This could have been written by our victim. She was a fervent believer in doing nothing.
Or it could have been the person who murdered her and they wanted her to stop talking about staying neutral.
Huh.
This could be the case.
Is there?
She's,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
oh no, I was just going to say she was very outspoken, which is odd for this particular floor, so perhaps somebody was upset with that.
Maybe. Is there any sort of writing on the writing desk to compare her personal writing to this writing?
Yeah, there's random stuff on her desk. Um, you see a page that's all about how doing nothing is really great. Uh, and it doesn't look like her handwriting, but then again, it's also like
Yeah.
kind of thing. There's a page on the desk that's like, "Dear Diary, doing nothing is the best way to praise Fetlan. Today, I laid on the floor all day, and I must admit the perspective it gave me was hugely eye-opening. I hope to spend many more days laying on the floor doing nothing. However, I do feel it is so important to share this idea with others. If everyone could just take a moment to sit in a chair, take a nap, stand completely still while leaning against the wall slightly, they too could know the presence of Fetlan. Love self."
Have we searched the wardrobe?
Think so?
No.
I will open the wardrobe.
You're welcome to roll a search-related skill check.
Investigation, or can I do perception?
Up to you.
I will do perception. Ah, 25.
You find a lot of black clothing, but you do, with a 25, find a pair of skimpy, sensuous red panties.
Red.
Huh.
Most curious.
Oh,
Pick it up with a sword. I'm not gonna grab it. Like use the end of the sword to lift it. They do not match the size of the others in the.
They match the size. You also notice that
Oh.
there is a little a little red fish that seems to be stitched onto the underwear as a decoration.
Cheap fish.
The red discipline is the romance discipline.
Probably.
Most
Sounds right.
curious that these would be here.
Somebody can give me an intelligence-related roll on the little fish that's stitched on it.
Could I give you like history?
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
I will also like to make a history.
All right, 2 histories will be accepted.
Okay. Fuck. You know what? Do I have inspiration? I do. I'm gonna use it. Well, I'm gonna wait for. So let's roll.
17.
Okay, I'm still gonna use it.
Why don't you save it?
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, with a 17 history check on this little fish design that's stitched into the red panties, you realize that this is a herring. This is a type of fish called a herring.
Red herring.
Interesting.
Uh,
Now,
This could be a trick from the dungeon master, or it could be a trick from the perpetrator trying to laugh
blood
at
pouring out
the.
of my nose. Dungeon Master. Uh,
There's a chance that someone in this tower holds the name Red Herring.
wait,
Ooh.
shit, that's a great idea.
Ooh, that's actually very logical.
Damn these tricks.
This sucks.
Uh,
It could be Ancient Fish's cousin.
Perhaps we should inquire about a individual with the name Herring.
Yes.
And more about this romance discipline.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes. Maybe they could teach me ways to woo, as they say, icy trick.
I meant more for information on the case, but I suppose
Oh,
if
of
we're already
course.
in the area.
Of course,
Hey,
of course.
Salath, you've compared that to a lot. Like, that's top priority for you, right? Above the investigation, above the lives of my old
Oh,
companions.
well, I never knew them, and if they are dead, what is there to do?
I.
But no, the investigation takes precedence, of course. But when in Parvus, woo tabaxi, I think they say.
Look,
When
I'm
in
pretty
Parvus, it's
laissez-faire
time
about
to
death, but
party.
damn.
But if your friends are long since passed, there is
We don't even know that yet. I'm not even really worried about it. I'll bring them back to life if they're dead, straight up. It's just
well,
a matter of respect.
I do not disrespect them. But if they are not of this reality of the material plane anymore, um, I do not think it is good to hold on to that memory. Let them be as they are.
I can only disagree as a living memory of a deceased.
But a living
I
nonetheless.
also, of course, respect you as I
Potentially living.
complicated. Well, hey, I appreciate being called living. All right, well, let's do some investigation.
Right.
So, do we want to follow up on this red herring, or
Did we thoroughly check the writing desk, or
right?
I want to just cross that off my list real quick.
I believe you did this where you found the diary entry.
Mhm.
But I
Maybe
didn't roll, so I didn't know if that was roleplay or not.
Oh,
can I check the diary? Maybe there's like an old log of her talking. If she talks about the black discipline, maybe she used to be the red discipline since it's the same size. So I want to check the diary to see if I can find that out.
Okay. Roll investigation on the
Amelie helps.
Amelie's like,
Amelie, put your finger on the page for the part that I'm reading. Don't go too fast.
She's like on the table.
20. Why is she on the table? Oh
'Cause
yeah,
she's
she's. Oh no,
no.
I forgot. I forgot for a moment.
You find a part in the diary that says, "One day I will finally throw out these red panties, and
Okay.
then I will truly be committed to the path of doing nothing. But somewhere in the back of my mind, I cannot let go of the idea of being sensuous."
All right. Well, we have our answer. It is a red herring.
I see.
Well, I'm glad we found it.
Well,
So that you can probably leave those here.
I was not going to take them.
Just wanted to be sure.
Is there anything behind the wardrobe? Give it a push.
You do find another folded up note, and in the note it says, "There is nothing else of interest in this room."
Wow, it's creative
Another
that she wrote that.
another trick from the murderer, I suspect.
You know what? That does make sense. Perhaps
No,
there's a poster, and if we put our finger in the poster, a hole
Oh, yeah.
shall open up.
There's nothing behind the wardrobe.
Okay.
Well,
Well, I think I'll search again.
have we checked the ceiling tiles?
Okay.
I think this room
Yes.
might be swooped clean, so to speak.
Ooh.
Yes, that is square. So that is a no-go on the red floor. Next up, I believe that is a sort of dead end with the murder case, is it not?
Well, we have the letter. We might be able to see if anyone was making complaints about her, asking her to stop talking.
I think that might be our violent tabaxi is that's my running theory is the left-handed kingfisher, loose string, and hidden depths.
Yeah. Could
Maybe
be.
we can see if we can match their writing.
Shit, it could be left-handed kingfisher.
He wrote the note with his right hand because
Yeah.
it's good.
Ah. Is it smudged to tell which direction their hand was moving?
Yeah, can I roll?
I present it so that you
I can
see
tell
smudge
by
marks.
these blood stains that he also used his right hand to hold the murder weapon.
You're
Going with it.
welcome to roll an intelligence check, a flat roll
Flat
on
intelligence.
investigation on the note.
Okay, I'm gonna do it. Maybe this time I'll use my inspiration.
Yeah, you can't tell.
I'm gonna it feels so dumb.
Don't do it. Please don't do it.
I mean, if it's a left-handed person, it'll narrow it down about like 30, like 70-30%.
Honestly,
I think the DM saying
Saying-
don't do it tells us that it's
Joking.
not a left-handed person.
such a stupid idea. But
If you want to roll inspiration on trying to investigate which hand the stop talking note was written with, feel free.
It was actually written with their toes.
Jesus.
Could
Honestly,
have been.
how did we do so many bits for this investigation of a murder scene?
Without trying, I feel also.
Yeah.
These are kind of natural.
Yeah.
I feel delirious. I'm gonna do it right now.
Oh god.
Okay, there goes inspiration.
Hey!
18. I'm gonna use knowledge from a past life. Okay, that's a 24.
The person who wrote this note ate Chinese food before they wrote it.
Look at the coffee stain.
This note was definitely written with someone's left hand. However, you also know that the norms of naming each other, the norms of getting named in Tabaxi culture have nothing to do with the actuality of the persons,
Okay.
because they get named before they're born or at birth. So, if a person was named Cross-Eyed Walrus, there's no guarantee that they're going to be cross-eyed.
Or a walrus.
But I don't know. He said only no guarantee that they're cross-eyed. They might still be a walrus.
Okay.
We're good.
Uh, so we could ask the neighbors if they heard a commotion that was not in line with doing nothing, but this may arouse suspicions as we are supposed to keep this hush hush.
Well,
Do any of you know the spell Detect Thoughts?
You don't. Oh.
that is next time I get a feat, potentially.
Oh, okay.
I do not know this spell, no.
Okay. I think Sarah's our only hope as the only wizard. Nope.
Oh, got it.
Then I don't
Yeah.
think it would be too fruitful to. I don't think it would be worth rousing suspicion to question the neighbors. I think it might be better to just see if we can investigate the possible suspects that we have this time
Yeah, yes.
and see which one of them is left-handed.
See which
Okay.
way they tie their belts around their waists and figure out if they're right or left-handed.
That's true. Do we want to do that before we investigate the dragon survivor and all that stuff?
Perhaps we could speak to the dragon survivor, yeah.
I think they might be many floors back up.
But do we know?
Let me check my notes.
What about the other suspects then? Are they further down?
I believe they were further down, but I don't really.
I do not believe any specific room of public sacrifice hidden
That's
dead.
like the first floor, I believe.
Yes.
Because two of
Violet
them were just
gift.
monks. I think only one of them was a holy 100, right?
Yeah, two of them were just regular, and then one is a holy 100.
Wait, did we get information about where or what facet Violet Gift was a part of?
I don't know. I might not have been there when you received that information.
I feel like I would have written it down, but I don't think I did.
Your dream of pulleys. I have terrible note taking.
No, normally I'm better.
Definitely feels like something we would know. I mean, we could just go ask our buddy, but
That is all the way back up many floors.
yeah,
You tell me where you want to go, and I'll tell you how you could get there or figure out how to get there.
We
Either-
want to question Violet Gift.
You want to question Violet Gift, eh?
Oh yeah, don't you know?
I don't think people told you where she is. I don't think you asked where she is and who she is and stuff.
Hmm.
But you were told that she's the one who lived after the dragon attack.
Well, shit.
Well,
So you would have to ask.
Our
go-
information broker, Ancient Fish.
should we just go out into the hall and find a passerby?
Seems like a good place to
Probably.
start.
Oh, it's also worth. Should we? I mean, is anyone else in this floor, the black discipline? I mean, we're here. We could just ask someone like if they saw him. I guess.
All right. I'll knock on the neighbor's door.
Oh, before we leave the room, I'd like to stealthily take the red panties.
I'm gonna roll perception.
I am also gonna roll perception.
Oh, ooh,
I
why am
would,
I
but
also
two people
rolling
already
love
are.
magic?
I'll just say my passive is 16. I don't know.
Okay, so far the highest perception roll is a 13, and you've got a sleight of hand check of 29, so you're probably not gonna notice that he's taken the sexy red panties of a dead person.
In case we need to locate the body, or we can
Jesus.
use it to track.
I can't wait till we check inventory and I have to ask the awkward question of Miki, are these yours? Did you put them in that wardrobe?
I love putting random things in my inventory and then looking back weeks later means like, oh yeah, that's what those were.
Well,
The
they're in
triple
your
S
inventory.
panties, sexy stinky satin.
I mean, that sounds fantastic. All right, so you guys are leaving the room, you're pocketing the panties. Did I understand that Andre's knocking on the door?
Yeah, I wanted to knock on the door of the neighbor.
No answer.
Okay.
Let's open the door. I mean, they're
Okay.
not gonna answer. They don't do anything.
I'll open the door.
That door is locked.
Oh.
Well, look at that. They care a
Well,
little more about security.
now that there's a locked door though.
Don't. I have been poorly influenced by the two of you, which is crazy because you're much younger than me. But
I am
don't do
looking
this.
directly past Sarah into Miki's face.
Miki is just like direct eye contact is just like looking off into the distance, just whistling as he's just trying not to be influenced by you, but knowing it's difficult.
All right.
Darius sees what you all are doing and is like, "What are you two doing, huh?"
Nothing anymore, Darius. I'm trying to improve certain behaviors. So when a door is locked, it is locked, and we move on.
Sometimes I question my decision to defend this group.
Dios, you're a rock. We need you.
I mean, I am not your boss. You are your own bosses. I just am, questioning some of the decisions you make. That's all.
Darius made the perception check, Miki. He knows.
I think that's physically impossible. Unless he has expertise. Oh shit.
All right, let's
Okay,
go
let's
check
go.
something else then. This
Go
door is
anywhere.
locked.
All right, where are you guys going?
Oh. Shit, we don't know where anything is. Do you guys want me to text Ancient Fish? I can send a message. It would be so stealth slot expensive, but I mean, what else are we gonna do today? I may as well.
You could just walk back up the stairs and
I
ask.
guess.
Let's just walk back up the stairs and ask.
Sounds good.
You're not actually doing it. It's some avatars of yours in another world are doing it.
It's true.
All right, you guys walk all the way back up the stairs to the 20th floor. You knock on Ancient Fish's door. You hear her tell you to go ahead and come in. Uh, and she says, "Oh, hello. Uh, the Mr. and the Mrs. Was that what you called yourselves? Um,
Mr. and the Miscreants.
oh, yes, that's better. That has more of a ring to it. I'm trying to remember it. I did write it down earlier. Hmm.
Is that what we were calling ourselves, or I thought that was
Oh,
what you
yes, that's
called
our
us?
name. No, no, that's our group name.
Ah, I see.
Yes, a wonderful group name. Um, well then, how may I help you? I believe I gave you a lot of information recently.
We were gonna ask you what the location of Violet? Violet Gift.
Yes, Violet Gift, the one who survived the dragon attack. Yes,
Yes.
she's of the brown facet, and, well, she has a strong interest in glass blowing, so at this time of the day, I would imagine she might be on the 5th floor in the glass blowing room.
Okay, then we are off to the 5th floor.
Uh, by the way, for your investigation, we found a note written by a left-handed person. Uh, and I guess we show her the note.
Oh, stop talking. Interesting. Well, I guess we already knew it was a murder. Someone wanted her to stop talking.
Do you know of any left-handed people in the tower?
It's maybe more specifically of the back of the black facet floor, since they desired her to stop talking.
Uh, well, I don't actually keep a record of the favored hand of everyone in the tower, but I imagine that at least 30% of the people in the tower are left-handed.
Well, that certainly cuts down the suspects a bit. Um, I would also say we found out definitively that whoever attacked her came from within the room.
Oh, that is interesting. Perhaps the person was hiding in the room, not visible to her. Or perhaps they had invited themselves in, or perhaps she was running away from them.
Are you aware of anybody who goes by the name Red Herring?
Uh, no. Um, there are other tabaxi with fish names in their names, but no red herring. There is a blue walleye and a slippery trout.
Are there any catfish?
God, I wish I remember my original Tabaxi name. My name's suck in comparison.
No, no one with catfish in their name among the 300 monks in the tower.
Disappointing.
You go, disappointing.
Well, I think that's all we had to ask you. We'll go find that person now.
Are you
From the
sure you
brown
don't have
faction,
any
Violet
other
Gift.
questions before you leave, just in case when you come back I might be, using the restroom or something and less available?
I mean, unless you have some sort of way of magically tracking down who the true owner of this note is, maybe.
I certainly don't. And the fact that you've discovered that it's written with a left hand is actually not incredibly useful because a left-handed person could write it with their right or left hand, a right hand. I don't know how much this narrows things down. But
Mhm.
I do appreciate you trying.
Uh, uh, yes.
Do you have any other location questions to ask me before you leave? You know, just in case I'm eating a sandwich when you come back, or in otherwise indisposed.
Do we know the locations of Loose String, Left-Handed Kingfisher, and Hidden Depths?
Oh yes,
I
I did tell you that last time.
We do know that?
Yes, you know, I refuse to repeat myself. My goodness.
Absolutely fair enough.
It was the room of self-sacrifice, yes?
Oh my. I thought you were a real team of crack investigators. Uh, what I said last time was that where is it?
I thought you knew.
The woman has paused. We hit pause on her speaking. She knows. Uh,
I remember you telling us that the incident happened in the cafeteria.
oh wait, I know what to do. Hmm. Hmm. Weird. Well, anyway, she's like, as I told you, loose string is probably in the treasury on floor 1. Um, left-handed kingfisher is the third speaker of the 100 holy ones, so he would be in probably in the third speaker's office at this time of day. And then hidden depths. She is on the. She really loves spending time in the first floor on the room of public sacrifice. You know, where people love to whip themselves and such. So, yes, those are the locations. If you don't have any other questions.
Do not believe so.
All right. If you do come back, I hope I'm not eating a sandwich when you arrive.
What kind of sandwich were you hoping to make?
Oh, well, you see, I'm a vegetarian. I was thinking about maybe a sandwich featuring red onions.
Ah,
They're very good raw, uncooked, of course. Um, you know, white onions I prefer cooked, but red onions are better raw for my palate.
I
Um,
have heard methods of cooking them, though I'm not sure their efficacy. I haven't been able to eat in many years.
oh, yes, you do look a little slender.
Haha, skeleton humor. Um, well, enjoy your onion sandwich.
Thank you. I believe I'll be including some spinach and some delicious onions. And she just goes on and on about ingredients. Some sprigs of rosemary and la 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 la.
Hmm.
Sarah, do not let these skeleton comments rattle you too much.
Sarah,
Uh,
John hinges, like, shocked.
Darius,
I pick it up off.
Darius says, I did not realize you were a dad, Sileth.
uh, I did not realize did I make a pun? A joke?
Yes, yes, you did.
Oh,
Rattle. Skeletons rattle, you know?
rattle has a dual meaning.
Yes, a duel, meaning, see, I am a dad. And then he like looks sad for a while.
I was gonna say something, but I will not.
I was like, I
Right
don't
then,
fucking rabble.
back to the case.
Uh,
All right, you guys are outside of Ancient Fish's door. Where are you going?
to the 5th floor.
That's
Mhm.
blown room.
Time to blow some glass.
Gotta
All
talk
right.
to Violet Gift.
All right, you guys, you make your way back out to the landing in front of the white facet floor, having walked all the way up there, and you make your way all the way back down, past the yellow facet, the gray flat facet, the bronze facet, the brown facet, the black facet, down, 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 rock lobster. And then you get to an archway on the 7th floor. There's a book with a hand over it. And then on the 6th floor, there's a plus sign with some little lines going off of it over the archway. And then you get to the 5th floor, which has a thinker face on it. Some head with a hand thinking. That's the symbol over the door to the 5th floor. And as you're standing there staring at the symbol, Tabaxi walks out, sees you guys looking at it, and says, "It's the floor of contemplation in the tower of contemplation."
Who are you? What's your name?
And then the person leaves. You say that to them, and they turn around and they say, "My name is True Owl." And then they leave.
Sarah, Crash, I don't know if you noticed, but when he said true owl, he lifted his left hand almost reflexively.
Gotta hunt that guy down.
Big bad.
So you guys are standing in front of the entrance to this thinker floor.
At the center.
We should probably go
Yeah.
inside.
And
Mhm.
let's go
Yeah.
try to find this glass blowing room.
All right, you go in the room. You go in there. There's a lobby of this crystal stuff that you have come to know so well, and you're standing in a lobby of sorts, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 archways leading off from this room. There's one that has a picture of vines over it. There's one that has a picture of a face going, and then like a bottle in front of it. And then there's one that has sort of interwoven things. And then there's another one with a picture of a knife and a stick. And there's another one with a picture of a book. And there's another one with a picture of a rock with little dots falling on top of it.
But it wasn't a rock, it was a rock lobster.
Oh. So you're standing
Well,
there with this
I don't
true.
think that's a sign for a bar. I imagine it's the glass blowers.
Now, does the shape of the bottle change how a brew comes out?
A brew?
Yes, Andre, you are a brewer.
I mean, not really. Usually we choose to brew in larger containers, and you only bottle it when you're ready to sell it. So
I see.
so bottles are very very small amount, so the brew spends its lifetime in the bottle.
I see. I see. So I once had a beverage, a beer made of root that they fermented within the bottle itself. So I wondered if that was common or a rarity.
Who can say?
Very well. I shall make note of that. To the
On
glass
to the
house, right?
glass blowing.
On we
We enter
go.
the room with the glowing face.
All right. Yeah, you go in that room and it's a big old white crystal room and you see some people blowing glass, believe it or not. Um, there is a couple heated forge looking things, and there are various colors of bars of glass hanging from the wall. There is a person or two with metal tubes that are holding things over the fire in various stages of blowing glass, and there is sort of a calico covered cat, a calico colored cat with a brown robe that seems to be finishing blowing a rather elaborate multicolored vase, uh, as well as somebody in a silver robe who's sort of just getting started on their piece of work.
You said the calico cat was wearing the brown robes?
Correct.
Okay, yeah, we'll go talk to the calico cat.
Okay.
Uh, I'll walk up to her, to them and say, we are looking for a violet gift.
And the person acknowledges you and then keeps blowing, apparently trying to finish what they're working on and not mess it up. Uh, they appear to be almost done. The glass is still a bit malleable.
Have a question.
Yes.
Do you think mold earth would work on sand?
Possibly. Depends on what you're
Therefore,
trying to do.
would mold earth then work on an altered version of sand, i.e., glass?
Possibly. It depends on what you're trying to do.
Could I help this person finish their classwork by casting mold earth?
You could make an arcana roll that
Okay.
if it's low, you'll fuck up their art.
But if I help them, will it maybe be cool and great for them?
Yeah, let's find out.
Okay. Yeah, 23.
So she's blowing and all of a sudden what happens?
Hold up my hand. My weird glowing eyes glow a little brighter, runes pop up on the back of my hand. Enter glass sort of warps and wobbles for a second and then fits back into place and moves into the intended shape that it seems almost ready to be, and I just sort of push it that last step.
And as you do that, her eyes like pop with surprise as as the vase is finished. It's beautiful swirling glass colors. Seems like almost every color of the rainbow is sort of spun in a spiral around a clear glass with sort of a clear glass base. And as you're examining it, you realize that there are 12 colors in this piece. And it is a pretty large glass vase and quite beautiful. So she finishes blowing it, and her eyes are surprised as this thing sort of finishes itself, and she looks at all of you and says, "Oh, what did you do? That is surprising." And she takes it over to the forge and starts to sort of melt the end to take it off the end of the rod uh, in a in a in an organized fashion.
I intended to aid you with a bit of spellcraft.
Oh, well, you understand, this room is for contemplation, so the act of doing the activity is the prayer.
Oh, I did not mean to interrupt or offend. Um,
Yes,
we,
thank you for your help, but sometimes the journey is the destination.
yeah, for sure.
Sometimes the journey is interrupted by a dragon, metaphorical and literal.
She looks like you're causing PTSD by saying that, and she says, "Oh, why you talk about this?" You
Well,
guys
we
are
came.
really enjoying the Mario voice.
It's slowly transitioning to like Borat's.
uh,
The longer any voice goes, the more they trend towards Swedish Chef.
Yeah. It all
The Swedish
equalizes.
will have their place in this world too. Why you bring up the dragon?
Well, we did seek you to specifically inquire about your encounter, uh, so that we may investigate it.
Hopefully,
Oh, I would rather not remember.
hopefully, if you share any information you have, maybe we can help other people not fall to the same thing.
She sort of looks around and she says, "We are not supposed to talk about this anyway. Who are you people?"
but we are here at the behest of ancient fish.
We are Mr. and the Miscreants.
That's
Uh,
vegetation, just like a like little celebration of just like
Okay. Is he the mister?
uh-huh.
Yes.
And
Oh.
Dius. But don't
Yeah.
worry about that. The name
He's-
still makes sense.
He's an honorary Mister.
I am not a member of this group. I am just protecting them.
Exactly.
Oh, this is very confusing. Why do you want to talk to me about the dragon?
So that no one else can have an encounter with the dragon.
We should put an
Well,
end to it.
it's not really something I want to remember. Somebody make a persuasion roll.
He does it.
Okay.
I say, under my breath, Ton Noir, help her.
We can't abuse the help action this way.
Okay.
All 6 of you, persuade them.
Prestidigitation of the dragon to scare her.
No.
I feel like if you do that, that's disadvantage. So no,
I
won't let
do
you.
What if it's
sort of-
intimidation?
I really like the idea of Jake doing like a mental breakdown as this character.
It's happened before. Is
Oh no.
anybody doing any of those things that you're saying?
Oh,
No, I don't think so. Muffin. Sorry.
I was really hoping that was going to be a pet, like a cat or something named Muffin.
No,
But
the
no,
cats hate me.
Oh,
a muffin came by and you went, Muffin!
I can go bring the snake or the turtles. That's it.
So so yeah, Miki persuades her, saying we want to make it so that people don't die from dragons anymore. What do you what exactly
yeah,
do
we
you say?
just want to end this dragon to make sure that no one else can experience the same promise that you did. I don't want to downplay your situation, but any information would be great.
He says, I don't know. We were told to be quiet about these things, and it gives me bad memories. Why do you think I spend so much time down here blowing glass? And she sort of like, she starts sanding the top of the vase that came off of the tube and sort of finishing the glass in front of me. This is very calming for me. I'll take one other roll from somebody else, flat roll to go with Miki's roll.
hmm.
Flat roll would be an improvement for Celeste.
Uh, Celeste, try and convince her of your religion. That'll give you advantage.
This would piss her off most likely. Well, we are a group of adventurers, as you can see, and many we ourselves, many of us, have experienced traumas of the past, but the goal is to ensure as few people in the future experience such tragedies.
All right,
It was your help we could do this.
give me your roll.
Flat roll? Or do I do the -2?
Well, I meant like no advantage or disadvantage on the roll.
Gotcha. Right. -2, guys. I got
Okay.
this. Right.
This will accompany Miki's 15.
I have a +1. I should have just said some shit. Uh,
Almost a natural
Oh.
20, but
hey?
not quite. That's an 8.
She
Hmm.
says, what do you want to know?
Basically, everything you can tell us if any strange conditions on the boat that you noticed, it how the dragon appeared, if it was strange in any way, um, anything that you can remember about it.
Sure. Well, okay, so it was a really big dragon, and it was gray and lavender in color, and it breathed like a gas all over the boat, and then it put its claws in the railing, and it lifted the boat up, turning it over in the in the water, and then I was trapped under the boat and probably would drown, but I know a spell. It is called air bubble, and I cast it on my head so I could breathe. And I stayed under the water while the pilgrims drowned around me, and it was pretty horrible. I was just clinging to the capsized boat, and I saw the shadows of the dragon's wings swooping around, uh, scratching at the boat. I just waited and closed my eyes and prayed to Fetlan. So yeah, when I came out, the dragon was gone, and most of the people were dead, but some were not, and they worked together to turn over the boat, and once it was turned over, it started moving towards the shore again, magically.
Did you see the direction in which this dragon had appeared?
It came
Relative.
from the east, but I don't know what that means. The lake is covered in mist, so it's not like I saw it coming from far away.
Were you hit by the gas that it breathed out? Did you experience any of the effects of that?
I don't know, but I have horrible memories that have been more prevalent lately. Do not ask me about them, please.
Of course, I believe that is useful on its own.
I do have one more question. Uh, had you had encounters with any other dragons before this one?
No. No, not very many people do, especially ones that live in the tower. I really like to create things, or at least I did. And uh, I don't want to do it as much anymore. You've ever seen a person drown to death? She sort of doesn't finish her sentence and turns away, and she's got a tear or two on her furry face.
Kind of just gently puts her arm on her shoulder. She's like, I know the pain of seeing someone perish right before your eyes, and it's quite horrifying. And I apologize for bringing such memories back.
Yes, flawless shore. She was fine.
Flawless Shore?
The, the victim.
Oh, yes.
Wait, I thought Hushed Sparkle was the murder victim.
This is
This
the
is
dragon.
The
another.
dragon attack.
Oh,
A monk who
okay.
died.
Okay, okay.
Do you, I hate to ask any more questions, but do you know anyone that may have not liked her either of your two stances, or wanted to do any ill harm potentially?
I don't know anyone who's mad at me.
Hmm.
Uh,
Well, have we any more questions?
Do you mind telling us more about Flawless Shore if it doesn't hurt you too much?
uh, she was of the gray facet. She believed in helping all the foreign countries and involving ourselves in their affairs to preach the constant peace and pacifism and to send the peace and love missions to the foreign countries. Yes, she was a very giving person. She believed that our country had a lot to share with the other countries in the world, you know?
Could you tell us what floor the gray facet is on?
Oh, of course. She tells you.
Okay. That's all the questions that I had for her. The one.
Any other questions? I do not wish to try to think about this anymore after this.
Can I tell via my magical knowledge as a powerful spellcaster, but also as someone who was attacked by those thoughts on the boat, if it feels like she was affected by something like that, or is maybe somehow currently affected by an effect like that?
Sure, you can do an arcana check on her. It's hard to tell.
Thanks, Mario.
Andre, uh, is it she's gonna like whisper to him. Do people always get this upset when discussing the past events?
Um, I don't know if everyone does, but it seems as though for her it's something that maybe shook her to her core in a way.
I don't understand.
Um, well, I suppose have you ever had anything change your system of beliefs?
My system of beliefs? No. I've been rock steady in my affirmations.
I suppose as a show of good faith and to kind of show you more what I mean, I can tell you a bit about my history.
Okay.
So there was a time where I was living with my natural orc family, and they were very ecstatic to be living where they were living at the time. Uh, and perhaps that was a failing on their part, as uh, I feel as though it may have led to the reason for their disappearance. And when I was with my adoptive family that I lived with soon after that, uh, I was taught to be a little bit more tight-lipped about certain secrets, as secrets and knowledge are both a form of currency but also a form of power. And in that way, I have been much more secretive and much more willing to bend the truths or work situations in my favor uh, because of my time with both families and finding out how the world works when certain bits and pieces of information are leaked, even if done so accidentally.
It sounds to me as if you gained more knowledge from this experience, though, and got something out of it.
Sure, but there was absolutely a time where I was not who I had been up to that point, and I was forced to change. It, I'm not sure if it is exactly the same for Violet Gift, but it seems like, at least at the moment, she's going through something similarly difficult.
I am not sure I understand still. I appreciate the sharing, though.
Possibly you'll come to understand as we continue to travel.
I will always be asking questions, so learning is my bread and butter, as they say.
I'll be sure to butter that toast.
While they were talking, I take Miki aside and say, Miki, I've been thinking about it since Celeste said this. Do I rattle when I walk? Like a cartoon skeleton?
I haven't noticed anything like that. You seem very dignified in the way you walk, and I don't notice any rattling or anything of the sort. Are you worried?
Just a thought.
I think Celeste probably rattles the most.
Every
Yeah.
time Sarah walks, we just hear,
I can't hear it on the
"Oh
They're
no!"
cut out.
move
What
on
if I keep talking? Does it go when I'm talking?
a little bit.
All right, good enough.
Violet Gift has turned back to her glass blowing and is starting to melt a new bar of glass to make something from.
I mold earth like a really simple affirmation on it. Just like
Would you stop messing with my contemplation? Please. I already spilled my whole story to you. Come on. Let me relax. Please. I'm trying to praise Fetlan.
touche.
What does the affirmation say?
It's like
Live, laugh, love.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, that's what it is.
Yeah, she's pissed.
Well, do we head down to the bottom floor then?
Yes.
Seems sensible.
Let's do it.
You guys are on the first
do
floor?
Oh yeah, first floor.
We could also check out the gray facet at some point just to speak with them and see if they know of any possible enemies that they have. I don't think that'll lead anywhere though.
Yeah, I feel like it's pointing in the direction of these three people who seem to want to separate from other nations and be more violent and active.
Yeah.
Which I do not disagree with, but it does leave potential for ne'er-do-wells. But another thought, would somebody who is prone to violence go out of their way to say so after murdering someone? Or would they, oh, I am so pacifist, I would never hurt a fly?
Fair enough.
At the same time, if someone were to tell you that they believe that violence can be the answer to some situations, wouldn't it be reasonable to check them out if a violent situation had occurred?
Well, I feel that is that would put me as a suspect.
Well, you weren't here when she died, so
This is true.
Miki, do you think Silith killed her?
No, she was with us the whole time.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I just wanted to double check.
Unless she has a twin sister that looks exactly like her and she's been swapping out the whole time.
I don't know. Celeste's the first person I've seen who looks even kind of like that, so I don't think that's possible.
Mhm.
We'd notice another person like Celeste
Yeah,
sneaking around, or
yeah, no,
someone would.
yeah, definitely. And the scars wouldn't match up even if it is a similar person.
Yeah, and like, you and Celeste both noticed immediately when we came across the Tabaxi who were hot. So I feel like, you know,
The same.
Celeste, what do you think they're talking about?
I wonder. What are they looking at? They're looking at at Celeste.
We're like in two groups staring at each
Yeah.
other.
I think they are speaking of you.
let's look at the guy sitting on his stinking chair
Mhm.
while we're whispering.
While we're messaging.
Yeah.
Uh, oh, now they are looking at him. Oh, are they trying to match you?
Hmm, that's very suspicious. Should we
Yes.
confront them?
Let us keep this in our back
Okay.
pocket for later time.
Hold on to it. Sarah's wide, horrifying eyes narrow.
Y'all are funny. Where are you headed?
Downstairs we go.
All right, you head down from the 5th floor to the first floor, and so you walk in, you walk in, you walk in. Um, you walk past the 4th floor where there's a picture, there's a little image of a turkey with all the different 12 colors around it. You go down to the 3rd floor, there's a picture of a book. You go down to the 2nd floor, there is a picture of a fork and knife with all the colors around it. And then finally you get down to the 1st floor where uh, it the staircase dumps you out back into that really big room. It is huge, like the size of 4 aircraft hangars. You recall that the mess and sleep area was in the northeastern, through the northeastern archway, and has an appropriate symbol associated with it. To the east is a doorway with a little whip over it. To the west, there's a doorway with a coin over it. To the northwest, there's a doorway with what looks like a harness over it. And in the south is, you recall that's the place you entered from. There's an arrow there.
Does the place with the harness have people in red robes coming out of it?
No, there are a whole lot of pilgrims on this floor.
I don't get it.
The romance.
He's
Yeah.
making a bondage joke.
Oh, it's
There's
late.
there's a whole lot of pilgrims wandering around this floor, heading in and out of the opening for the mess and sleep. There are a few different monks you see walking across this massive chamber, headed from one place to another. Where do you want to go?
Do you,
Probably the self-flagellation room, right? That's the whip, right? Or am I
You could assume that with your
okay?
passive intelligence. Give me just a sec. I'm gonna type a sentence or two, and then I'll tell you what you see.
Sure.
You got some. All right. All right. Let's see here. Going into the room of self-sacrifice. Trying to find Hidden depths. Yeah, so you head east and you end up in a really big room with lots of little mats on the floor, and there are many people all over the room in front of their mats. You can imagine like a yoga class or something. And there are many pilgrims, people of all shapes and sizes in their semi see-through hooded cloaks, white hooded cloaks over their clothes. Um, and they're all doing various things to themselves. Some people are whipping themselves. Some people are cutting their arms with pieces of broken pottery or other things. Some people are just slapping or punching themselves ritualistically. You hear grunts and little cries of pain throughout the room as people are hurting themselves in various ways. You see a few people that are in strange and painful looking yoga poses. I mean, it's not yoga, but it's something, and it's clearly designed to hurt while they're doing that stuff. And you see a few monks in a few different colored robes who are engaging in this activity in this large room of public self-flagellation.
Time to look for some clues, gang. I
Who
don't
are
think
you
there
looking?
was. Was there someone we were going to question in this room, or did we just want to search this room for evidence? I don't remember why, but I remember we wanted to go to the room of self-sacrifice.
We want to talk to one of the isolationist violent people.
Hidden depths.
Yep.
Was she
Yeah,
gonna
do you
be
remember what facet she's in?
gray? No, not gray. Gray's the peaceful one.
Why does my head want to say blue?
Probably because that's what you wrote down.
But she was an evil one.
What's it?
Um,
I didn't write down anything, but it sounds. I
God
wrote.
damn it.
Why did I write down ancient fish is vegetarian, but I didn't write down the fucking the other things?
You wrote down, you guys were asking her about her sandwich, and she was telling you, oh, it's gonna have onions and spinach. But when she said hidden depths of the blue facet is in the sacrifice room, you didn't write that down. You wrote down red onions and
Oh, hidden
spinach.
depths.
Yes.
Oh,
She told you to talk to hidden depth of the blue facet. So yeah, you see someone in a blue monk robe among some of the other monks that are in robes. A person who has a nice long black leather whip and just whipping themselves in the back and bleeding. Just whipping themselves, not facing you.
We are good.
Red slashes in their blue robe as they beat and whip themselves.
I think I make contact with Sarah and I say, "Watch this," and then
What?
I'll cast Cure Wounds on them.
I was just about to do that.
You're gonna walk up and touch the person to do that?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Do
All
we
right.
both? Do we both do it?
I think Sarah
Can I join
instinctually
in?
goes, no.
No. Okay.
We can just
Pure
standing back.
fear.
We can just like I see the train wreck.
You
This
you are welcome to do that.
If Sarah says no, I think Andre would
I
stop.
think it absolutely happens a beat too late. Like, because you go, watch this, do it. And as you do it, I go, no.
Wow, looking at my records for what you've done since you've woken up, is you've you've actually used a fair amount of resources. Andre cast Bless for fun last time when you all brought her up there, and then a bunch of you have been using suggestion. So Andre uses level 1 cure wounds, and Celeste, you cast suggestion with a racial feature, but you haven't cast any spells using your uses yet, right?
Nope.
The 6 out of 7 uses, and then your hit points go down to
Right.
65.
Yes.
All right, so you both cast Cure Wounds. You're welcome to roll your D8s, although at the end of the day, it doesn't matter too much.
Yeah.
The person gets healed, and give me one sec. Yeah. So she turns around, and you see that not only has she been whipping herself, but she's also been cutting herself on the arm with pottery. And she turns around, and she also has a calico pattern and is in a blue robe. And she looks at you all and says, "How dare you limit the sacrifices I offer my god, Fetlan? That is the utmost disrespect."
Sacrifice is how I cast these spells.
You do not understand me. And with that, we'll end our session. Huh.
You did well, Andre.
Could have been real funny and cast life transference.
Oh, that would have been great.
Take.
That's one of my favorite
It would
spells.
not have been worth it, like
Absolutely
resource-wise,
not.
but it would have been really funny.
Who has inspiration? One?
No, that was just me doing an awkward thumbs up.
Nobody?
Nobody, I guess.
All right. So something you like about the session, something you like that another player did, and inspiration vote. And Daniel, you are
Uh,
up first.
Something I liked about the session, I am always horrified and finding it hilarious. All the ways that Amelie continues to be involved in the plot. And I also love the way that the dice really give her center stage at times, where you gave me advantage on the checks and it turned both of them into above 20 checks. I thought that was funny. I really liked Sarah's interaction with the glass blower, and it's why I wanted to heal Hidden Depths right now, because of how Crash was trying to help. Or at least I felt like she was trying to help, and they just took great offense to that because of the fact that the act of doing is their way of worship. I think that's very interesting that it's that specific to them. It's not glass blowing in itself. It's I have to continue to do this as a way of worship. So you helping me do this is actually a bad thing. I think that's really interesting. Something I enjoyed about the session, something I enjoyed another player did, and inspo vote. I think I am going to give the inspo vote to Crash for again never missing a chance to push forward Amelie, forcing me to yes and that.
Yes, the Amelie stuff is very entertaining. All right. Yeah, and that is a very interesting dynamic. Don't help me complete my task because doing the task is the prayer. Wow. Okay. Alex.
Yeah, I liked interactions with the NPCs, how they were, like you guys said, like the whole me doing this thing
is my prayer, and I like just us messing with them. As well as I also really liked how it was just Mario voice for what minute. I thought that was great. Yeah. I other things players did that I liked. I liked uh like Andre having like a emotional moment with Celeth telling her about like his backstory, and then immediately afterwards, Sarah just goes over to me and it's just like, "Hey, do I rattle?" That was a good 180. I really loved that. Yeah, there's lots of good moments. So I would give it to Eve. Give my inspiration to Eve for continuously poking us and poking NPCs.
Very good. Common.
That was a fun session. I also enjoyed the various NPC interactions, how they responded to the weird party showing up to ask them questions. Uh, I also I enjoy the voices. The Mario voice gave me a laugh. Uh, so that was very entertaining. And then I liked this is I suppose this is a character, something another character did. I liked. Well, I guess it could go in either. I liked actually hearing a little bit of Andre's backstory since I was able to get it out of the other two, the previous session. So I liked being able to take notes on that, see what his deal is. Uh, so that was a do. I enjoyed that, and I think for inspo mode I'd have to also give it to Eve because you make such good use of your zombies. Just go help him, and then the way you described the beanbag. It reminded me. I put Patrick Swayze Andre, but it reminded me of that. What's that movie, Ghost?
That was
Ghost with
a
Patrick Swayze.
very funny interaction created out of fucking nothing.
Like a certain bean.
I thought I was helping.
You're in a lobby. You're in a lobby with some beanbag chairs, and all of a sudden it turns into Ghost. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
Or zombie. Eve.
Oh my. I feel like I'm getting reverse calmed by everyone voting for me. Um, I really enjoyed
Break
this
the tie
session.
by voting for yourself.
I can't.
Because you're the new player.
Yeah, I feel like this campaign has been going on for long enough that it's like by like time percentage more bits than plot, which is great. And like they've kind of interwoven. Like we had a lot of bits this session. Like Andre, Amelie, romance subplot, uh Mario voice, all of these things made me a little like lightheaded. Very funny, very good session. I feel like we were sort of productive.
We actually were.
Yeah, we did great.
There's at least 3 bits that have turned into character development that I know of, at least.
Which is, yeah, they just become the plot. It's great. Cool. Other players, I enjoyed everything that everyone did. I enjoyed I enjoyed the interactions with the dragon survivors, Violet Gift, Miki's attempts to convince her and work with the trauma and pain of that. And the following conversation between Andre and Celeste was really good. I feel like we got insight into both of their characters there, and that was very interesting. I also think we have like the rough full backstory of everyone except Celeste. So you're fucking next. Um, as for inspiration, I will toss it to Andre for being such a good scene partner with these fucking insane zombie romance scenes.
I was gonna say it really is like a fever dream sometimes because I just had a moment where I remembered, oh yeah, the panties that Miki found in the wardrobe and then stuffed into her pocket while no one could tell.
Quiet about that.
Oh man. Out of context D&D.
Is that in the plot summary?
I hope so.
It's
It
in my
is.
inventory.
It is.
Cool.
So interacting with Violet Gift, the OG players, she was in the middle of this like heartfelt trauma memory, and she brought up the spell air bubble, and the wizard made a comment, made a joke about like the stupidest name spell ever, or he was like, I wonder what the spell air bubble does, or something like that. And she took offense. She took such offense that the conversation ended, and she was like, she was too upset. She was like, I was in the middle of opening my heart, and you made a joke out of my trauma, blah blah blah. And so then they had to figure out a different way to get the rest of the information out of her. So I was like, I was watching all your faces when I said air bubble to see if any of you would joke about the air bubble spell. But I feel like you were almost gonna upset her. I feel like Celeste was on the verge of saying
Celeste,
something upsetting to
Celeste is
her.
on the verge of pissing anybody off at any given moment, I feel like.
Before
I had an
Andre,
emergency backup plan.
before Andre heard her say, like I'm so sad, lost his partner and everything, and single tears dropping, Andre was gonna be like, "Do you recognize these panties?" So I'm glad that Andre was like waiting a moment before he said something dumb.
Well, a very entertaining session. I really revisiting the tower in multiple sessions right now. I mean multiple campaigns right now. I'm just like, when will I ever have the energy to build another place as complex as this place? There's so much going on in here and so many people to talk to, and I love that you are solving the mystery and chasing down threads and running up and down the giant tower, session after session, and you're making good progress. You're unraveling the ball of thread. And I think it's funny that my Tuesday Zoom class kids are at pretty much the same area, and just they're like constantly on the verge of killing everyone in the tower. Because they're pacifists, so let's just kill everyone.
I feel like we're the opposite, where we want to just chill with everyone.
Yeah, you want to hang out and meet them all and talk to them.
We have everyone's very chill, and we have our debate lord Celeste, in case we need her.
I was gonna make a joke with Darius too, and I decided not to because he said, "Oh, I did not know you were a dad. I am a dad," and I was gonna say you were a dad.
You were good at thinking that.
That's right, Silent. Crush our friend with facts and logic.
But I didn't. I held back. Like, oh no, that's bad.
Yeah, it's good that you didn't.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Look, that was bad. Let me not say that. Intrusive thought.
he was already thinking about that. And sad. Um, So yeah, so next Friday, we'll be traveling for the 4th of July. I think we're gonna be able to play. I'm always a little bit out of sorts when we play while I'm traveling, even though everything exists inside of the computer and I don't need all these dice or whatever in order to run the session. But yeah, I'll let you know if for some reason the schedule feels weird, but which should be fine. You know, we're staying in an Airbnb. There's an extra room where I'm not going to be waking our baby by doing it, so it should be all good. So, anybody else got holiday plans messing with their next Friday?
Tomorrow's my mom's birthday, so I have 5 hours to sleep and then go with breakfast with them. So
You can always take a nap after.
no, I can't. I have plans after.
No.
I appreciate you showing up, even though you have the family plans. And more than probably next week, we will have a new player. I think a room where everybody's hurting themselves is a great place to meet a tragedy bard.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh no. Oh,
Oh no! I was thinking of the bad ape. Oh no! Oh
Yes.
no!
New player will save us from our humor.
Oh.
We need a tragedy in.
Uh,
All right, everybody. You have a great week. I'll see you 1 week from now.